A global pandemic, unrest in the country over racism, and economic uncertainty facing businesses and families. In Central Virginia, families are struggling to keep a roof over their heads. Fear of eviction looms large for tens of thousands of families, and when a recent moratorium on evictions expired in the Commonwealth, instantly nearly 2,000 Richmond families were in the pipeline for their cases to be heard. Attorney Palmer Heenan with the Central Virginia Legal Aid Society says it's devastating to households.
You're in the middle of a pandemic. Many of my clients have elderly relatives that live with them. And so they're trying to take care of mom or dad. And at the same time, they're facing the possibility of having their, roof removed from over their head.
Heenan is concerned about recent findings by researchers with the RVA Eviction Lab. The group delved into local filings and reported that they discovered 1,055 eviction filings across 108 properties in Henrico, Richmond, and Chesterfield that appear to have been filed despite the properties being covered under the Federal CARES Act eviction moratorium. It's in effect until July 25th.
This is an actual federal law that was passed by the U.S. Congress and signed into law by the President of the United States. The fact that there are so many cases that potentially violate that law is troubling.
It's why Heenan's agency joined others in reaching out to area judges to explain their concerns. Now he says courts are reacting by requiring landlords to prove whether or not their properties are backed by any federal financing. If they are, they'd fall under the CARES Act eviction moratorium. Heenan is pushing to have the moratorium extended, saying tenants desperately need more time to access rent and mortgage relief options, like the $50 million allocated by the governor and administered by the Virginia Department of Housing and Community Development.
They're affected by this crisis because they've lost their job, and they deserve the chance to have access to these funds so they can get over this temporary setback in their lives and not have the stigma of this eviction lawsuit on their record for the next 10 years, making it more difficult for them to find housing.
If you've lost income due to the pandemic, Heenan says that you are entitled by law to a 60-day continuance of your eviction case. If you are facing eviction and need assistance, there is a statewide eviction legal helpline. You can dial 1-833-NO-EVICT.